If you're constantly reaching for caffeine to stay sharp during long training sessions or competitions, then hold up for a second. What if I told you that your brain needs more than just caffeine alone to stay focused and energized? But if you also find yourself crashing really hard, getting jittery during training, losing focus and mental clarity halfway through your training session, then there's a deeper reason why. So today we're going to break down why relying on caffeine alone can be limiting your cognitive performance and what you actually need to stay mentally sharp for longer. But before I dive in, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also hit the notification bell so you don't miss any one of my videos. Let's be real here. Caffeine kind of feels like a bit of a cheat code when it comes to energy and focus. You have one cup of coffee and all of a sudden, your energy is up, your reaction time is sharp, and you're really ready to go. But here's the catch. If you're only having caffeine before training and you are heavily relying it to push you through hard sessions, this is a red flag. Because while caffeine gives you a quick boost, it doesn't hang around forever. And it also doesn't deal with the real issue at hand, which is brain fatigue and neurotransmitter depletion. So here's actually what happens. Caffeine acts as a block to adenosine. Adenosine is what makes us feel tired. Caffeine essentially stops it from working, so you feel energized and focused. But adenosine doesn't actually go away. Once your caffeine wears off, that built-up adenosine starts flooding in, making you feel instantly tired and sluggish. Hello, energy crash. And not to mention, late use of caffeine and overuse of caffeine can also lead to messing with your sleep. Poor sleep means slower recovery times. It also means you're waking up feeling tired and then relying on caffeine even more, repeating this cycle over and over again. So what's the result? You end up wired but tired. You can focus in short bursts, but mental clarity is just not there when you have a long, hard training session or a competition that lasts more than 1 hour. And for athletes, we know this is a major problem. Endurance athletes need sustained concentration for sometimes upwards of 4 hours. Combat and team sport athletes need fast decision-making under fatigue. And strength athletes need to avoid those jitters from caffeine crashes so they have precise form and explosive power. Now let's talk about the biggest mistakes that I see athletes making when it comes to caffeine. The first one is using caffeine alone as a replacement of meals. Caffeine can suppress your appetite, causing you to not feel hungry. But using this feeling as a way to avoid meals and snacks before training can then lead to those energy crashes and jitteriness that comes from caffeine. So if your diet is lacking in a balanced meal before training, as well as some carbohydrates just before and during your session, then your brain is kind of running off fumes. The second one is overloading on caffeine or having caffeine way too late at night, wrecking your sleep. Caffeine has a 5 to 6 hour half-life, meaning that if you have caffeine at 5 p.m. at night, it's still in your system at around 11 p.m. You might be falling asleep, but it will disrupt your natural sleep cycles and your ability to really utilize your deep sleep for recovery. The third one is not prioritizing hydration if you do have caffeine throughout the day. Because even slight dehydration paired with caffeine crashes can actually exacerbate low energy and fatigue because it impairs your body's ability to regulate your blood flow and blood pressure. So in saying this, how do you actually fuel your brain to have sustained energy and focus throughout training and everyday life without having to rely on caffeine every few hours of the day? Well, the first step is to use caffeine strategically. It is no secret that caffeine benefits your performance. But there's a sweet spot of having between 3 to 6 milligrams per kilo of body weight 30 to 60 minutes before training or a competition to really help you reach peak performance. You also want to cut off caffeine 6 to 8 hours before you want to fall asleep. So if your competition or training is late at night, you might just need to utilize caffeine a little bit earlier so that you still prioritize your sleep and recovery. Step number 2 is having stable blood sugar levels across the day. Prioritize having a balanced meal of protein, carbs, fats, and vegetables 2 to 4 hours before your training session or competition. And then for an extra boost, 15 to 30 minutes before your session starts, have a little snack of easily digestible carbohydrates. The third step is to supplement or have a consistent intake of omega-3 fatty acids for your brain health and inflammation. Sources of omega-3s are fatty fish, walnuts, and flax seeds, but if you are not getting this consistently in your diet every day, then consider a supplement of about 1 to 2 grams of high-quality fish oil. Step number 4 is to hydrate properly and have electrolytes for proper nerve function and focus. Start by having at least 0.035 mils per kilo of body weight in fluids across the day. If you are a heavy sweater or you live in a hot climate, also include electrolytes to support your electrolyte balance. And lastly, step number 5, which I think you guys knew was coming, is prioritize your sleep. 7 to 9 hours a day is the minimum that athletes need to recover well and to wake up feeling energized and ready to crush their training sessions. So of course, avoid caffeine too late in the day and have a wind down routine that allow your body to rest and fall asleep naturally. These 5 steps will allow you to fuel your brain properly and stop you from reaching for caffeine at any given moment in the day just to stay focused and energized. I really hope you found this video helpful. Please drop a comment below with your main takeaway and what you're going to start implementing from these 5 steps. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.